manifest some money? You want to? Let's do it. I'm going to teach you how I've manifested tons of money, over $1 million doing what I love, and how I used to be broke, living kind of paycheck to paycheck, not really knowing which direction I want to go into. So this is you. If you're someone who's been struggling with money or you want to make more money, this video is for you, okay? I promise you, after you watch this, you will start manifesting more money. Promise, okay? If you do what I tell you to do. So, what I started doing when I started making a ton of money, when the money changed, see, it's never about what you do. In society, we're programmed to believe that it's what you do. Now, is what you do a part of it? Can it be a part of it? Yes. Is doing what you love amazing? Yes, that's why we're here, to have fun, right? To do what we love as much as we can, right? So that's a part of it. But I think that because we associate money with what do you do, what career do you have, what kind of business do you have, what do you sell, what, it becomes more about, ooh, what does this person do? Ooh, what is this person doing to make money? And then we try to copy that so we can make money. Now, it works in some cases, but in a lot of cases, as you've seen yourself, when you end up trying to just do something someone else is doing to make money, most of the time you fail. And even if you do end up making money, you're pretty miserable, right? You can see this in careers, you can see this in lots of places. So instead, this is how I want you to flip it. Now remember, you can make money just not doing anything enough to make the money. You can just receive it. You can come into your life from different sources. Tons of people are doing that every day, but that'd be kind of fucking boring. So you want to, the way I like it is like, hey, I'm doing what I love and the money's just coming in doing what I love. So it's just a win-win, just fun, it gives you more purpose, I think. So the way I started when I was just fucking broke and not knowing which direction of my life to go into, I had like a solid career path, but I kept kind of self-sabotaging it on purpose after I had reached a pinnacle of success, because I knew that's not what I wanted to do for the next 30, 40 years of my life, Again, it was the doing part. It's like, do all that, what, just to make $30K a month? Like, that seemed like such a bad trade-off, For me, now 30K a month to someone else may seem like heaven, Jannah, right? But I was like, to work 40, 50 hours a week, most of the work, I wouldn't get to do the parts I enjoy, I was just like, no. So again, it could be that, or it could just be that you've been trying to make money any way you can. You've been struggling, you've been broke, you have debt, you have bills, whatever the case is, okay? Whatever you need the money for, it doesn't matter, okay? This will work, okay? So, the way I switched being the guy who was paycheck to paycheck to being the guy who had a fuck ton of money, where I could buy the houses I wanted, buy the cars I wanted, take people out to eat whenever I wanted, go on trips whenever I wanted with loved ones, buy anything I wanted, walk into a store, like literally become the guy who's just abundant, who has money, was by doing what I'm about to tell you, okay? So, I literally started to think and be the person who has a fuck ton of money, right? So what that essentially looked like for me was, because I knew what I wanted to do, because I know I'm going to coach for the rest of my life. It's just what I love doing, right? I was like, okay, I want to do it when it comes to the world of coaching. And I saw people were making $1 million doing it, making a lot of money, living a very freedom lifestyle. Freedom is what I wanted, the freedom to work where I want to work, wake up when I want to wake up, not have to answer to anyone, be my own boss. And that's what I achieved, right? So I think I just started focusing on, one, that it was possible, and two, that I could essentially be that person. But practically speaking, for you, what I would tell you and tell my past self if I was giving him instructions is be the person who is making that amount of money right now, right? And that's exactly what I did. So what that means is think as the person who is making that amount of money now, okay? So we don't have to even worry about action, okay? You don't have to worry about action yet. And this is I could make a ton of videos on action, right? Like, do you need to take action to manifest, right? Yes and no, right? Can you manifest without taking any action? Yes, I'm not a limiting coach. I will never limit you in what you can believe, but I'll get to that part later. That's not really important though at all. This is just about having the money come into your life, okay? In ways that make no sense, in ways that are logical. I mean, the fact that I made over $1 million from something that an idea that came to my mind, and using my phone and laptop and just living like a retired lifestyle, it makes no sense. It still makes no sense to me, right? That is a manifestation. If that's not a manifestation, what is, right? And so I think the way that I want you to approach it in the beginning is, I want you don't have to know how you're going to make the money. You don't have to know where it's going to come from. You don't have to think about, is it going to be a job or a business, or what do I offer? You don't have to worry about any of that stuff. Immediately your brain's going to start to jump to the how, which is fine, right? So kind of explore different ideas, brainstorm, jot them down, write down ideas, research, if that's fun for you. But allow yourself to not know. It's okay to be confused for a while, right? I think the most important thing is, again, being the version of you who is that now. So all you got to do is pick a number. So for you and I would pick a number that you want to start making this month, okay? And one that is a stretch goal for you, but not so far off. So if you made, $1,000 or $5K this month, right? Don't say I'm going to make $1 billion, right? Can you? Yes, you can manifest anything. But for most of you, just because there's going to be so much resistance, which just means opposing thoughts to creating that for yourself, you're just going to delay even smaller money coming in, because there's a part of you that's just not going to be in line with that, right? So why set yourself up for failure, right? At the end of the day, you want to have as much money as you want. If you want to be a billionaire, great, but I think it's better to go in big steps, not little steps, big steps. So for example, if you're someone who is making 3K, 5K, whatever, then go to 10K a month, right? If you're someone who's making 10K a month, maybe you want to go to hey, I make 20K a month, 30K a month. If you're already doing that, maybe go to 40, 50, and so on and so forth, right? Pick whatever number. Again, a lot of people get kind of bogged down. I used to get kind of worried about which number should I choose, but it doesn't matter. You can change the number. At the end of the day, you're gonna manifest the money that you say you want, and then you can make more, right? A lot of people also think I'm gonna be locked into that number for life. No, right? Stop thinking that way. Again, that's limiting. I'll make this much money this month, and then if I want to increase it, I can make more next month. The reason why that works is because you receive the money, now your brain believes that you can make that money, that you can manifest that. So next month you can go for a higher number, right? The sky's the limit. So I would pick that number. So let's say for you, it is 10K, right? Let's just say that you want to manifest 10K. So I would literally be the version of me who makes 10K a month, and then I would ask myself, what does that version of me think, right? So if someone were to ask me, how much do you make a month? I make 10K a month. That's how I would respond, right? That's one way to come up with the thought you would think, right? And being that version of you. Or just, what would you think to yourself, if you made X amount of money, right? So if I was making 10K a month, I would just think, I make 10K a month, right? It would just be that natural, casual, right? So it could be anything for you. It doesn't have to be the exact sentence I'm using, but since I know for me it's I make 10K a month, it's just that normal, natural sounding. That is what I would continue to live as. So I would be the version of me who makes 10K a month. Sometimes throughout the day, whenever I remember, and I'll just repeat this in my mind throughout the day, right? I can say it out loud if no one's around. I make 10K a month, I make 10K a month, I make 10K a month. But usually it's just in my mind. Now, I would say to do it as much as you can throughout the day, whenever you remember, whenever the topic of money comes up, right? So for me, for example, if I was doing it, I would essentially, sometimes I'll take a deep breath in to kind of just be that new version of me, right? So I would just be, I make 10K a month, I make 10K a month, right? In my mind, I would just be I make 10K a month. And I feel like if you're just in that energy and you're in that state, a state is what you create with your thoughts, right? You're living in that state has to then manifest in your reality. The inner state will become the outer state, right? So that's it. I make 10K a month. I make 10K a month. I make 10K a month. Just repeat that as much as you can in your mind. Be the version of you by thinking as if, right? And that's it, and you will. If you're led to take action, take it. If not, don't worry about it. It'll happen on its own. I promise you. That's the fun part. All you have to do is think as if I make 10K a month. I make 10K a month. I make 10K a month. Just repeatedly affirm, think the thoughts as if you are that person now, and I promise you, you will manifest it.